Hey everybody, Donald the Dialect Coach here, and today I'm going to give you 5 tips that will help you take any accent or dialect that you're working on and make it smoother and more believable. So I'm sure most of you have been working on dialects before, and you notice that no matter how long you've been working on them, they seem a little bit choppy, a little bit robotic. Well, we've got to take them and we've got to smooth them out. We've got to make them more fluid. That way they are more believable, more lifelike, and will work better on camera. So here we go. Tip number 1. Remember, doing a dialect believably is not about making every single sound change correctly. It's about giving a sense of the dialect in a believable way. So I think a lot of times my students tend to focus on too much, right? How do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant one bite at a time. So you can't take on too much when you're learning a dialect. So what should you focus on? You should focus on the most important thing, the resonance, which is where in your mouth that sound resides. And if you can get that resonance with 100% accuracy, then your dialect's going to be believable. What else should you be doing? You should be focusing on the 2 major sound changes in that dialect. So if there are R drops and transferred R's, then you should be focusing on that for sure. You should be looking closely at that I sound to see what's happening with it. But by focusing on only the resonance and those 2 major sound changes, you're going to have fewer things that can trip you over as you're doing the lines, and you can focus on the most important thing, which is the acting. You may notice that when you're going over your lines in dialect that they may seem really choppy. That's okay. Don't fight the choppiness. Embrace the choppiness. Your brain needs that choppiness. It needs to break things down into smaller parts in order to master the dialect. So don't fight against your brain. Help it. What do I suggest? I suggest breaking your sentences up into 3 or 4 words. Now, word of warning. Don't break your sentences up into 1 word at a time, or else you're going to be breaking it down so that it sounds like a robot and not a human being. So break it into 3 or 4 words at a time. Make sure that you've mastered saying those groupings of words together. Once you've mastered that, expand it. Maybe you can do a full sentence, or even better, as an actor, a full thought, or a full emotion, or a full transition. But start small, make sure that you can say 3, 4, maybe 5 words at a time fluidly in the dialect, and then add more and more and more until you have them all there and you're being fluid with the dialect throughout your entire performance. Oftentimes, when performing with a dialect or an accent, it's easy to forget that a dialect does not change the essentials of what your voice is and what the quality of your voice is. Remember guys, we do dialects, not voices, okay? So the goal is, when you're doing a dialect, for it to still have that same quality of sound, that same personality, that same life that your voice already has. It just sounds like you're from a different area in the world. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and learning with me. That's it for part 1 for today. But tune in next time, because we'll be going over part 2 of how to make any dialect smoother and more believable. And between now and then, if you just can't wait, feel free to visit www.donaldthedialectcoach.com to learn all that you can in the meantime. See you next time.